Good afternoon to you. Mark Sutton with HurricaneTrack.com here. Another hurricane outlook and discussion for you. National Hurricane Center now issuing advisories on Tropical Depression number 19. We can look at this just coming in now over the wire, as they say in the news business. TD number 19 down here, and they don't have the maps up yet, etc., but Tropical Storm Watch now issued for southeastern Florida as a new tropical depression forms. We can look at the public advisory here. It's located about 80 miles, 130 kilometers east-southeast of Miami, so it's 80 miles east-southeast of Miami. Top winds are already 35 miles per hour, so it's almost a tropical storm, and the minimum pressure, they're estimating at around 1,009 millibars. Tropical Storm Watch in effect for portions of the coast of Florida, and interest along the northern Gulf Coast. Should also be monitoring the progress of this system. They have wind and rainfall right now. This is from forecaster Eric Blake. So brand new. This will get updated again at 11 p.m. tonight, and we will get a better handle on it at that time. So let's just take a look at what we've got. This is the vorticity signature from this morning, and this is the area that we're talking about right here. Watch what happens through the course of the day. This was from 12 UTC. This one is from 18. And the difference between the two, you can definitely see that it's organizing, becoming more focused in the Bahamas there. And we can see it again on the satellite imagery here from the weathernerds.org site, and the depression located right in here. So it's coming together, and it's going to be moving in the general direction of South Florida, moving over the peninsula throughout the weekend and into the eastern Gulf of Mexico, where it has a chance to strengthen. And if we look at the radar, a really nice radar presentation here from Mark Nissenbaum from Florida State. It's rather disorganized because it's in the formative stages, obviously, but the center of circulation probably in here somewhere, and lots of showers and storms with it, and loosely related to it, all the way over. Let's get a different color so you can see it better. All the way over here into parts of Collier and Lee counties down to mainland Monroe. All of this activity will be spreading close to the coast over the next 12 to 24 hours and crossing South Florida. So as I talked about in the update earlier today, these big population centers down here, lots of people, and you got this inclement weather moving in. So be ready, be aware, all right? There's going to be lots of rain, gusty winds from time to time, and because this system is strengthening, even though it's slowly right now, these effects could be more pronounced. So if you get like a big burst of thunderstorms, as an example, you see this big convective ball that goes up right there. If that goes up on top of you, it helps to bring that wind down to the surface a lot more efficiently. We call those downdrafts. And there's other clues that you can see with this already. Look, the outflow getting established. Wow, I mean, it's really trying to come together, and this could be a big problem for the northern Gulf Coast. As such, I'm going to be leaving North Carolina tomorrow afternoon to head down there, trying to see if they have updated the map. They have. That's good. They do not make it a hurricane explicitly, as you can see on the track map here. Let's see if the discussion is out. It is. And main thing I want to see is what the wind. So they bring it up to 70 miles per hour. Wow. So just below hurricane strength. I suspect that this will become a hurricane. I've got a feeling about it, and it's not just, oh, of course you have a feeling about it because you like to track hurricanes. No. This is the instinct. This is the pattern, and the overall model guidance. The global models are struggling with it, but the statistical models and the hurricane models, they're doing a really good job with it. I would just be ready for a hurricane if I were here along the central Gulf Coast. And the slow moving, notice how close these dots are together. These centers of circulation, that's what the little S's are. That's the center. Notice how close they are together. That is a slow-moving system. And I'm going to tell you something. Do not be surprised at that angle if it's moving slow and it becomes, let's just say, an 85-mile-per-hour hurricane. Moving that slow, that's going to really pile the water up in places like Mobile, the Mississippi coast, the Mississippi Sound, and depending on the angle of attack and where this comes in, if it's just a little bit more to the south here, you could really drive some water into parts of southeast Louisiana as well. So Not saying get all worried that this is going to be some big hurricane, because it's probably not going to be very large, but the intensity forecast, tricky. It's already doing far better, more healthy than anybody probably thought at this point in time, and it has the potential to ramp up very quickly, very similar to Gordon 2 years ago. Tropical Storm Gordon had a very similar path, but I think this will do better for itself than Gordon did. So you got to watch this very closely. Florida Panhandle, yes, you're going to have impacts all along this region from the waves that this generates, cloudiness, the bands that will come out ahead of it over the weekend and into next week. Like I said, I'll be leaving North Carolina tomorrow, and I'll head down probably I-10, get over here and do my thing. I'll have some help with Greg Nordstrom and my colleague Mike Farrow from here in Wilmington, and we'll. It's funny because we're actually going to pick up some equipment that's still out after Laura, and then set it back up for, presumably, if this gets named tomorrow, this could be Sally, if 95L near the Cabo Verde Islands or out in eastern Atlantic. If that doesn't get named Sally, if it does, this would be Teddy. Ugh, a lot to keep up with. All right, real quick look at the modeling here, and this is what I'm talking about. It's not, the global models don't see it, as they say. There's the reflection in the 850 millibar level. This is Florida right here. There's the Gulf Coast, and this is the initial condition from this afternoon. 24 hours out, 48, fairly well defined, but it's small. And there's this other piece of energy over here, and all of this represents heat in the model as well. It's more complicated than that, but maybe the modeling, the global models, are not seeing this as a separate entity competing with this other system down here. I don't know. But it's reflected pretty well in the Euro. That's 48, and then by 72, just kind of crawling along. And of course, this right here is Paulette, and we've already talked about that earlier today, a direct threat to Bermuda. And then finally, 96 hours, look at that, just crawling along the coast, and by day 5, the Euro has it inland, basically right over Lake Pontchartrain. So, we'll see. It could potentially grow quickly. Intensity forecasting is where the least amount of skill is. It's the peak of hurricane season. You got to be on top of this stuff regardless. And we may have, a hurricane on our hands. It won't surprise me in the least with this system. So there it is, TD number 19. Quick update for you. That's what I know about it so far. I'll post some more tomorrow in the morning. And then, like I said, I'm going to pack up the truck and head down to the Gulf Coast starting tomorrow afternoon. Probably go to Lake City tomorrow. That's a good jumping off point for us when we start our missions down there. And starting Sunday, I'll stream live on our public YouTube channel all along the way. Of course, starting tomorrow, I'll stream for our supporters on Patreon and our HurricaneTrack Insider group. Tomorrow's just a travel day. But Sunday on, you want to make sure we're out in front of as many people as we can. We are supported by our crowdfunding partners through Patreon, and you can join up that effort if you want to. Patreon.com/HurricaneTrack. The link is in the description, as they say, of the video. All right, so that's all I've got for this evening. There you go. We'll see what goes on from here. Thanks, as always, for tuning in. I am Mark Sudduth, HurricaneTrack.com. I'll talk to you again tomorrow morning.